All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom Tada Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is the brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And in this lesson, I want to go into this article that you see on the screen right here, dealing with, as you can see, like it's talking about the whole uh, Biden declaring the new mandates about the medical procedure. But this is from naturalnews.com, and the heading is called Treason. Biden declares war on America, threatening to remove governors who resist the medical procedure mandates. So this is just getting us closer to what the scriptures speak about as far as dealing with civil unrest, you know. All right, matter of fact, I'm going to get that one first before I even read a little bit of the article, because this is what's getting ready to happen basically from how things are moving. All right, because people are going to only allow you to push them so much before they just, have to fight back, so to speak, right? Because, yeah, people allowed it to get to where it's at now because they haven't been protesting or rioting like you see in other countries. They were protesting and everything just off of the general lockdown, right? Not being able to, uh, come out and being told to stay inside and stuff. But what happened in America when all that took place? Nobody did nothing. They stayed inside. They didn't complain about it. They didn't go out there and protest about it. Or even with everything that's still going on now, leading up to now, nobody's been having mass protests and stuff, right? But now, since it's getting to a real extreme as far as like you being liable of, losing your job, and who knows how far it can go from the new mandates, how he's making it. All right, now people are starting to have an issue with it, and even people that have been taking the jab are like starting to like see a red flag with it. Like, why are you going so extreme with it? So these people in America, they're getting tired of it, man, and it's going to lead to what the scriptures say is going to happen, man, which is the prophecies regarding civil unrest. All right, and as well as America breaking down, man. All right, this is Second Ezra 15:16. It says, "For thou shalt." Well, I'm starting Second Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And your destruction is drawing nigh, man. All right. What's going on now is literally just the beginning of many situations that are going to be happening within America, man. It isn't just going to be a so-called pandemic going on. All right, it's going to be famine, race wars, civil unrest, martial law. All right, real plagues, all type of stuff going on. So what you're seeing now is just the beginning of it. All right, but your destruction is drawing nigh. It's closer than it's ever been for the people in this world, man. All right, and 2/3 of our people as well, because y'all got going to go down with America as well, because y'all love to live here. All right, but your destruction is drawing nigh, and you're seeing it take place. All right, things slowly starting to pick up, get worse and worse for y'all. All right. Verse 17, and man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And it hasn't got, it's like somewhat, you're not able to travel as much, but you can still travel. Things are going to get to a point where it's so bad to where you're literally not going to be able to go to a city. All right. Literally. Continuing on, it says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Oh, wait. No, I think I had a slide. I jumped. Yeah, I'm gonna just start from the top again. It's like it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men." And that's exactly what you're seeing take place. You're seeing it get ready to take place, I should say. because what they're forced to do, and then I'm gonna read it, go back and read the article. This guy, Sleepy Joe, is saying any government that isn't going to push his mandates, that he's going to move them out the way, meaning take them out of their position of power, and that's a threat, you know. And you got these other governors, all right, in these other states saying it straight up, like we not rocking with that, all right. We ain't pushing none of that BS, and that ain't flying over here. We don't care about like nothing that he's saying basically. So you could already see that division, all right, within America, and that division is getting like bigger and bigger, all right. That so-called line is being made clear as day, all right. Continuing on, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And that's right, they ain't gonna regard these higher powers, man. Just like these governors in these other states, they're supposed to follow what the so-called president says, right? But they're saying straight up, we not listening to you. What you talking about is madness, because America is supposedly founded on all these, constitutional rights, so-called. Why are we being forced to do something that's like literally against our supposed liberties, right? And these other countries ain't going. I mean, not countries, but these other states, they're not going for it. These other governors in these states. So it's going to start getting real bad out here, man. It's going to be states trying to go back to like a couple years ago when these states were trying to succeed from America. You're gonna have that happening again because they're not with all the BS that they're trying to push. This dude Sleepy Joe and the elites, man. And this is just going to cause more and more division within America, and just further the destruction of America as far as the economy and morally and everything else, man. But I'm gonna go and read some of the article now. So, like I said, the heading is Biden declares war on America, threatens to remove governors who resist the medical procedure mandates. But it says um, Joe Biden is threatening to get out of the way all governors who refuse his latest medical procedure mandate. In a teleprompter speech, Sleepy Joe said that he plans to use his power as president to remove every state governor who defies his regime's imposition of medical fascism against federal contract and large-scale corporate employees, that they all get jabbed for, you know, the the virus. If they'll not help, Biden mumbling during his announcement, "If these governors won't help us beat the pandemic, I'll use my power as president to get them out of the way." Were someone to say the same thing about Biden, the Secret Service would likely intervene to try to prevent a possible assassination. When Biden says it against state governors, though liberals apparently cheer with excitement. The reaction from state governors made it clear that a major line in the sand has been crossed and civil war is now officially brewing. And jumping down to the next section, it says Hunter's dad pitched a fit after numerous state governors, including South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster, tweeted that they will not be complying with Biden's vaccination demands. The American dream has turned into a nightmare under the President Biden and radical Democrats, McMaster wrote. They have declared war against capitalism, thumped their noses at the Constitution, and empowered our enemies abroad. Rest assured, we will fight them to the gates of hell to protect the liberty and livelihood of every Carolinian. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas called Biden's decree an assault on private businesses, reiterating the fact that his own executive order protecting Texans' right to choose whether they get the jab blocks any and all vaccine mandates coming from the feds. The Biden administration's recent announcement seeking to dictate personal freedom and private business decisions is an insult to our American principles of individual liberty and free enterprise, added Governor Michael Parsons of Missouri to the conversation. This heavy handed action by the federal government is unwelcome in our state and has potentially dangerous consequences for working families. Jab the jab protects us from serious illness, but the decision to get jabbed is a private healthcare decision that should remain as such. My administration will always fight back against federal power grabs and government overreach that threatens to limit our freedoms. So this is just showing you how this is him, that one thing that he did, just quickly just set off everybody like a red flag for everybody, as far as like you going too far now, and they're instantly like it's instantly getting like backlash about it, or he's getting backlash about it. All right, because like it just shows you these other states, they're not with it, man. These other governors in these different states, and it's mainly the ones in the South, right? Because out here in on the east or and the west, as far as like New York and in the Bay Area and Cali, they pushing all this madness, man. They don't never resist or buck up to anything the government says to do. All right, they totally with it, fully full blown. But then these states in the South, like it was mentioned in Texas, Missouri, Carolina. All right, they not with none of that, man. They not. They're like, they got some type of backbone where they're not just gonna listen to every damn thing that Esau tell them to do. Or just do Sleepy Joe, man. All right, and they ready to, go head to head with the fucking president if they got to. So this is showing you that that division, like I said, this is brewing, starting to brew up that civil unrest in America, man. And we're going to see how it play out from here, but more than likely things are only going to continue to get worse, man. All right. Now the next scripture I wanted to get is in Mark 3, and I'm going to start at 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. And you're seeing nothing but division in every level. The states being divided against, the government system that's set up in place. The even in the Democrats and Republicans, they've been dividing the division with that has never gotten any better. It's only getting worse. All right. And you're seeing Esau rise up against Esau because who are these other governors in these states? It'd be mainly like Edomites that be the governors. So you're seeing Satan against Satan, man. And these other Edomites, these pro-American Edomites, they gonna rise up against the government system, because this is gonna affect a lot of people as far as like the ones who are like these pro-Bible Edomites and everything, these Americans and shit. They not finna be taking it, and they willing to lose their job over it. A lot of people out there, man. And you already got that going on in certain states where you got the medical staff or the police officers and stuff like that protesting because their job is on the line just because they don't want to participate in your medical experiment, man. So we've like finally start seeing the people wake the fuck up and actually start protesting and having civil unrest against the government, basically, because things is getting too out of hand. It's getting to a point to where they can't just sit back and just be all hella docile like they've been about every last thing else the government has ever done to the people. All right. Now it's getting to a point to where people are just fed up with it, because they didn't lost everything. Like after this whole pandemic shit that started, you already lost it all. Like at this point, you don't got shit else to lose. And he's trying to take the last thing that he can from you is like literally money out of your pocket and cause you to go homeless and broke and not being able to take care of your family and stuff by him forcing all of this. So now it's getting to a point to where people are fed up and they're going to start having this mass civil unrest, man. And you know it's just going to lead up to more and more things taking place. All right, he may possibly come with another false flag. He gonna institute martial law. You know, things are only going to spiral down. You know, downhill from here, and we just gonna see how things play out with it at this point. But like the scripture said, you know, it's this kingdom is coming to an end, man, because it's divided against itself, man. And that civil unrest, like it says in Second Esdras, is coming to pass, man. It's going to come to pass, as well as all the other ways that all the other plagues that are going to come to America. You know, the famine, all right, race wars, martial law, all right, just nothing but lamentation, mourning, and woe, and great death, really. But we're seeing the beginning stages of things taking place, man. This dude, Sleepy Joe, is like totally with the agenda of the elites, and he's pushing it. And you're going to see things just get worse, and people now you may start seeing Americans actually stand up for once, you know, and do some shit about it. Hey, so with that, you know, I'm gonna wrap up and give all praises again to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.